Hello students, today we are going to learn the poem Rain on the Roof written by Coates Kinney. Dear students, from the title of the poem, that is The Rain on the Roof, we can make out that the poem is about the rain. The poet is telling us about the memories he has of the rain and how the sound of the raindrops falling on the roof of his house brings back sweet memories of the past. Talking about the poet Coates Kinney, he was born in on November 24, 1826. He can be called as a man who had a full life. He was a lawyer, politician, journalist, and poet from the United States. He wrote many poems. Few of his poems were included in Cincinnati in 1855 and Lyrics of Ideal and the Real in 1888. The Rain on the Roof, which was set to music, was the most popular one at that time. It could be said that this poem established the name of Coates Kinney as a popular poet. Talking about the rain on the roof, the poet shares his experience of blissfulness as he hears the patter of the rain on the roof of his cottage. He visualizes that raindrops are like the tears shed by the shining starry sky when it gets covered with the dark clouds. The poet feels that each drop of rain falling on the tiles of the roof sends him into imaginative flights, and he begins to fancy innumerable associations connected with it. He at once thinks of his mother, whose benevolent looks appear before him. He experiences a great satisfaction in her looks as he enjoys listening to the patter of the rain on the roof. So, dear students, let's read the poem Rain on the Roof. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. The poet has described a rainy night here. He talks about humid shadows. Humid shadows refers to the vapor-laden clouds. Starry spheres, it refers to the sky full of stars. Melancholy means sadness, and bliss, it refers to happiness. Weeps means to cry, to shed tears. So let's have the paraphrasing. The poet is saying that when the humid shadows hover, humid shadows, the dark clouds which are full of water, which are vapor laden and are about to bring rain, when such clouds hover around in the sky over all the starry spheres, which means the sky which is full of stars, at that time, huge clouds which are full of moisture move around in the sky, and the sky looks gloomy, sad, and the sad darkness of the night is wiped off by the raindrops which seem like tears falling from the sky. The poet here is comparing raindrops to tears, and he says that the dark sky, which seems to be very sad, it appears as if it is crying, and the raindrops are the tears shed by it. He adds that it is like a blessing to lie on the bed in his room, and the cottage chamber here refers to the bedroom of the poet. And thus he listens to the sound made by the raindrops falling on the roof. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollection weave their air thread into woof, as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. Tinkle, tinkle means a light ringing sound. Shingles refers to the rectangular wooden tiles used on roofs. Echo, repeated sound. Woof refers to the thread woven across the loom, which actually prepares cloth. Patter, the sound of raindrops falling on the roof. Here, busy being, it refers to the human beings, and here it refers to the poet. In the second stanza here, the poet is expressing his feelings when he hears the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his house. He says that every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. Whenever he hears rain falling on the rooftop, the sounds repeats in his heart. So echo in the heart means how the sound of the falling raindrops gets repeated in the heart. And in his dreams, he has many different fanciful imaginations which give birth to thousands of fancies. He adds that this sound of the rain falling on the rooftop creates many new different dreams in his mind. He recollects many memories of the past which come back into his mind as dreams. And here he talks about woof, that means the thread woven across the loom. He says that he weaves these dreams along with the thread of his memories, recollections from the past events. So he says that it all happens as he listens to the patter of the rain upon the roof. He has many new dreams in his mind, and the memories of the past come back in the form of dreams as he listens to the patter of the rain upon the roof. In the third stanza, the poet says, "Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me, as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain." Here, years agone, it refers to past, days of past. Ere refers to an old poetic word of before. Dawn means daybreak. List is again an old poetic word for listen. And refrain here refers to a repeated part of a song or a poem. So here what is repeated? It is the sound of the rain. Now students, here in the third stanza, the poet introduces his mother. The poet's train of thoughts take him to his dead mother. He remembers her. He says that he is dreaming of his mother. As he has told in the previous stanza that rain brings memories of the past, so it is the memory of his mother who is no longer alive now. In the past, she used to love him a lot. She used to consider him a darling, and she would let him sleep till daybreak and have sweet dreams. So here darling dreamers refers to the children of the mother, that is poet and his siblings. So the poet can still feel that his mother is looking at him as he listens to the song made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his room. The sound of the rain makes him correlate his past with his present. That is why the poet is moved by the sound of the raindrops on the shingles of his room. Whenever he hears this sound, it brings back memories of the past, and he is reminded of his mother. And this is where the poem ends. Let us quickly discuss the theme of the poem. So, Rain on the Roof by Coach Skinny, it reiterates nature's healing power. The healing power here is talked about of the rain, especially when heard from a cozy bed in a country cottage. Nature can create the most beautiful music, which has the power of unleashing endless memories stored in our minds. On a rainy night, as the sky is wrapped in melancholic darkness and the raindrops fall on the tiled roof of a country cottage, it seems as if the sky is shedding tears of sorrow. The poet finds comfort in the cozy softness of his bed, and his mind it drifts into memories that come back to soothe him. His memories and strands of imagination form a brightly colored mesh in his mind, and one by one he pulls the thread to bask in their comforting warmth. First of all, he remembers his mother as she used to tuck him into the bed and stand there to watch him lovingly as he drifted into sleep. There she would leave him till the next morning. He can still feel her adoring gaze upon him as he listens to the musical sound created by the softly falling showers. Thus, here the poet has highlighted the comfort we draw from sweet memories of childhood that linger in our minds and come back to soothe us. So, dear students, let's quickly learn some of the literary devices in the poem. The first one is alliteration. Alliteration refers to the repetition of a consonant sound in two or more consecutive words. Like, as for example, humid hover, H sound is repeated, then starry spheres, S sound is repeated. Press pillow, the P sound. Lie listening, busy being, their thread. Rain roof, darling dreamers. These are some of the examples taken from the poem referring to the poetic device alliteration. Next is the literary device onomatopoeia. Kindly mark the pronunciation, it is quite different from the spelling. The pronunciation is onomatopoeia. The use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery. Like we have heard the sound like buzzing of bees, buzz. So this is the sound which is created. Then hissing of the snake, hiss. So similar some onomatopoeia, the poetic devices are used here. Like patter is the use of sound word. It is sound made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop. Tinkle, sounds made by the raindrop again. Next is the literary device personification, which means treating a non-living thing as a living being. Darkness has been personified when he says that it is sad. Transferred epithet. It is a poetic device where the use of an adjective with a noun, it refers to another noun. When an adjective used to a particular noun is actually transferred to another noun. Like dreamy fancies. Fancies, the adjective uses dreamy. It does not actually mean that fancies are dreamy, but it refers to the people who have dreams. So that way, transferred epithet is used here. So be very careful about the poetic devices used in the poem. So this is all about the poem Rain on the Roof. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, all of you.